Think about the sheer amount of time we spend just coaxing and tweaking prompts, trying to get an AI agent to do exactly what it did yesterday. It's a frustrating, messy cycle, right? But what if we flip the script? What if we took those fragile, ad hoc prompt habits and turned them into structured, repeatable agent workflows, basically making it a product primitive? Well, that is exactly the paradigm shift we're diving into today.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really critical evolution in the modern developer's toolkit. We're talking about moving from the total Wild West of AI coding agents into serious, scalable infrastructure. If you've been feeling the friction of trying to shoehorn autonomous agents into your daily pipeline, look, you are absolutely not alone. We're going to break down exactly why it feels so broken, and more importantly, how the smartest engineering teams are fixing it right now.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. First, the AI tool chaos. Second, enterprise agents get serious. Then, CI breaks under agents. After that, we'll pivot to the solution, from prompts to workflows, building repeatable agent tasks, and finally, the winning agent setup.
All right, Section 1, the AI tool chaos. Stack Overflow recently highlighted something I think we all feel: the modern developer's daily struggle with decision fatigue. Just look at this stack of tools we're wrestling with. Do I fire up Claude Code? Should I use Cursor? Maybe Codex? Copilot? Or do I just spin up a local model? You know, the cognitive load just to start coding has gotten literally immense. Instead of actually writing features, developers are spending hours just playing traffic cop with their AI tools. And right alongside all that decision fatigue comes a very real, very tangible anxiety. I'm talking about the cost. Token costs are just skyrocketing across the board, and we are seeing massive community concerns around things like Copilot credit pricing. When you unleash autonomous agents across multiple projects, trying to predict your monthly spend, it becomes almost impossible. Engineering managers are flying totally blind. I mean, you could literally have an agent caught in a loop, burning through a massive amount of credits over a tiny syntax error. It's a level of financial unpredictability that just doesn't scale. No way.
Which brings us to Section 2. Enterprise agents get serious.
Because of all this chaos, those standard cloud agent setups we've all been tinkering with are quickly being replaced by a new enterprise mandate. There are massive shifts happening in the industry right now. Take OpenAI, for instance. They were recently named a leader in enterprise coding agents, and they are actually partnering with Dell specifically for hybrid and on-prem Codex environments. This is huge. It means the biggest players out there have officially realized that just sending everything out to the public cloud, that's not going to cut it for serious enterprise development.
And the core reason brilliantly illustrates the shift. To quote the mandate, enterprise teams want agents close to private code, private data, and existing infrastructure. They absolutely cannot risk exposing their proprietary algorithms to some public model, and they can't rely on infrastructure they don't fully control. Basically, they're demanding that the AI comes to their data, not the other way around.
Moving right along to Section 3, CI breaks under agents.
So here's a stark reality check. Traditional continuous integration is built for deterministic human code. It's a straight, predictable line of pull requests and tests. But when an AI agent autonomously generates hundreds of lines of code at once, those standard builds completely break down. Suddenly, teams need agent-aware validation, highly specialized reviews, and hard-coded budget controls built right into the CI pipeline. The old pipes just weren't built to handle this new kind of pressure.
All right, Section 4, from prompts to workflows. This is the paradigm shift. So what's the solution? Well, the answer lies in systems like Claude Code/workflows. This is a real game changer. Instead of relying on a developer to manually craft some perfect, magical prompt every single time they want a component generated, workflows turn that totally unpredictable task into a structured, repeatable product primitive. You define the boundaries, you set the rules, you dictate the expected outputs exactly once. And then, the agent executes within that safe, predictable container every single time. It's basically moving from crossing your fingers and just hoping the AI gets it to building a robust software system that actually manages the AI.
Section 5. Building repeatable agent tasks.
Okay, let's get really practical. How do you build this rock-solid foundation today? If you want to turn repeatable tasks into checked, safe workflows, you need this 5-step checklist. Number 1, define scope. Explicitly state what the agent should do, and importantly, what it should ignore. 2, set allowed files. Restrict its access so it doesn't accidentally nuke your core database configs. 3, require a test command. The agent literally must be able to verify its own work against your test suite. 4, set a budget cap. Put a hard, fast limit on tokens or dollars. And 5, define a stopping condition. Give the agent explicit, crystal clear instructions on exactly when to stop spinning its wheels and escalate to a human.
I absolutely have to emphasize this point. Steps 4 and 5, the budget caps and stopping conditions, these are your ultimate defense against that unpredictable token spend and infrastructure chaos we were talking about earlier. By defining exactly how much an agent is allowed to spend on one single task and exactly when it needs to raise its hand and say, hey, I'm stuck, you completely eliminate that nightmare scenario of an endless loop burning your entire monthly budget over a weekend. You are finally putting guardrails on the autonomous vehicle.
And finally, Section 6, the winning agent setup.
Let's look at how this is actually playing out in the real world this week. Take Alex, for example. Alex is tackling the notoriously tedious process of release triage, but instead of manually scrolling through logs, Alex converted the whole process into automated Claude code workflows, complete with strict scoping and test commands. Then on the flip side, we have Sam. Sam is dealing with an older, much more established code base, so Sam is designing an agent intake checklist for a legacy team, ensuring that before an AI agent is even allowed to touch a single line of that delicate legacy code, it has to pass strict validation constraints. So two completely different engineering problems, both being solved beautifully by applying these exact workflow primitives.
Which leads us to this. This is the ultimate takeaway for CTOs, managers, or anyone trying to scale AI effectively. The winning agent setup is not the smartest model on every step. It is the most repeatable workflow with the cheapest acceptable escalation path. I know we're so trained to constantly reach for the biggest, most expensive, smartest models out there. But true scale, that comes from structure. It comes from predictable workflows that gracefully fall back to a human only when it's absolutely necessary. That is what saves you time, money, and massive headaches.
So I want to leave you with this final, really critical question to ask yourself and your team this week. Are you just blindly paying for smarter models, hoping they figure it out? Or are you actively building smarter workflows that actually guarantee repeatable, safe, and cost-effective results? This shift from messy prompt habits to structured product primitives is happening right now, and the teams that master workflows are for sure the ones who will truly unlock the power of AI coding agents. Thanks for joining me on this explainer. I really hope this roadmap helps you take back control of your AI toolkit. Until next time, keep building smarter.